Sunday Morning Coffee with Keto Simple. My name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing today? This fine, beautiful Sunday, I assume sunny Sunday morning. Happy day, race fans. It's race day. The Indianapolis 500 happens in just a couple of hours down the road from my house. Yes, all the way home last night, I went to a friend's house for his birthday party last night, and on the way home, I just see the signs of all the road closures after the race. They turn two-way, like opposite direction places into one-way. They just do all kinds of crazy things, considering that here in Indianapolis, we have, I think, the largest sports complex, if not in the planet. It's ridiculous. It's huge. Huge. But I wanted to talk about something else, right? And I see that Thomas is here. This is going to involve Thomas. So something really stuck with me yesterday because Thomas had Lena on, okay? And she is one of the Proper Human Diet, Dr. Barry health coach alums with me, okay? And she was talking about MeatStock and being there and seeing all the panels. And in her opinion, and this is definitely her opinion, as I was not involved. It was not at MeatStock, as you will know. But she said how open and balanced the panels felt while she was there, right? So think about how I think that that surprised some people, because from the outside looking in, and I'm guilty of this too, right? I'm guilty that looking from the outside looking in, and I am a part of the carnivore world just as much as anybody else. But a lot of folks assume that carnivore spaces, and to my understanding, to my actual experience, some of them are, but they're going to be extremely rigid, dogmatic, all or nothing, right? And you see that a lot. But from this, from the perspective, there was actually a lot of openness, a lot of nuance, and a willingness to acknowledge that people's journeys can look very different. Now, sometimes when you put a lot of different people together, you're going to get that regardless if they want to be that way or not. I mean, understandingly so, it's kind of like people arguing on the internet. You have somebody arguing with you on the internet, and you see them in person, and it's a completely different night and day thing, right? So, honestly, I think that one of the most important things that we can hold on to as this community grows, right? As this community grows, not just carnivore, not just keto, but the entire proper human diet space. Because while it's tempting to believe that the exact thing that worked for most of us must be the answer for everyone else. And that's just not going to be how real life works. Health journeys are messy, they're personal, they're involved experimentations filled with setbacks, adjustments, and just learning how your own body responds to different things over time. And it's not just about how many carbs someone eats or how much protein or how much fat. It's also about all the little lifestyle shifts that happen along the way, right? Do people start going to the gym? Do they quit drinking soda? Do they stop snacking late at night? Do they give up coffee or decide coffee makes life worth living, like myself? Sure, I could give up coffee, but to what end? I still need to enjoy the life that I have left to live, right? So, there's just so many moving parts when somebody starts trying to improve their health. And I think we do people a disservice when we pretend that there's only one exact formula that guarantees success for every human being. And Rick asked, am I dogmatic? I think you are very much dogmatic for yourself. And you can come off, especially in the very beginning when I first started seeing you in the chats, you come off sort of dogmatic. But I think you are more open than a lot of people will give you credit for. And coffee makes me happy. I'm going to drink it because, speaking of which right here, I have this little bit of this delicious concoction right here. But I think, that's why this community matters so much, right? We're not growing this movement by forcing people into rigid ideology, at least on the whole. There's always going to be the fringe. There's always going to be the outside, that kind of glowing edge, right? That is there to kind of push an agenda, whether it's pushing products or, this, that, or the other. They're trying to do something. And it's not a matter of trying to make money. It's not a matter of trying to have something to sell to monetize what we do here. Because, again, monetization of this space is nuanced, but not necessarily the point of this. But again, just because somebody has something to sell, to me, in my opinion, doesn't mean that they are a shill or any of those things or any less genuine. You'll figure out how genuine somebody is as you watch them over time. And you'll see shifts in the way that they do, you know what I mean? There's just shifts, right? I almost said do. But because, again, we're here, and I love the fact that we're always getting together. I love the fact that Thomas is having somebody on his channel what seems like almost every day. And he's always highlighting and sharing amazing stories. And it's, channels like Thomas, Target Prime Rib, if you're curious, if you don't know who Thomas is. I think it's all about that idea that we're growing this organically by sharing stories, talking with people one-on-one or even in groups, however you're comfortable. Because not everybody is totally comfortable being on a live stream with any one of the amazing channels that are out there currently one-on-one. Sometimes people need to be 2 or 3 or 4. They're comfortable kind of being able to tell their story, but not being the complete focus of the kind of the show, right? And that just helps showcase the successes, the failures, the relapses, the victory, the trial, the error, all the things that we as humans and that I have dealt with over the last 10 years for myself, the ups, the downs, figuring things out, realizing that things have shifted and things don't work anymore. But that trial and error, that all of it matters because, again, every story helps someone else feel less alone, more hopeful, that they maybe, just maybe, that they can figure this out too, and that you're not alone. And that's the real power of what we are building here, right? Also, just to toss this in before I forget, Salty has, I don't have a bag of it. I didn't get a bag of the peach, but peach is forever on sale. Chris mentioned in a live stream last week that peach is not a limited time offer. Peach is not a limited edition. It is a new forever flavor, which blew my hair back. As you can see, it's gone now. So if you want, hopefully I will be getting my link all rectified. I've had a lot of email conversations going back and forth with my rep that works for the agency that helps Salty and Keto Chow. So hopefully that gets rectified. They say that my link does work and it does give you your discount, so that's always good. And it links hopefully to me, and hopefully they'll get my payment stuff sorted out. Again, It's not a huge amount of money, and I'm not truly worried about it. I know they'll fix it eventually, but I just want to make sure that you guys are getting your discount. And because I know you love that stuff, whether it's salty or the keto chow, depending on what your, what your preference is, So I just want to throw that out there. Oh my goodness, we have tomorrow, which is a holiday, which is Memorial Day. And then we have 4 days of school left. And then we have 60 days of summer. I don't know how we're going to do it all, how we're going to get things done in this house. With a little baby, she's 5 months old. She's getting a tiny little tooth. She's getting a little toothers, a little teethers. Mommy came in the middle of the night last night about 4 a.m. asking about ibuprofen, liquid ibuprofen, looking for a syringe in the middle of the night. And Chandra was not thrilled because Chandra gets up at 5:30 to go to work. So you get woken up at 4. I mean, usually I wake up about 3 or 4 to go potty. Doesn't matter what time I go to bed, how much I drink. It's like, well, it's time to go pee, I guess. But yeah. Chandra was like, try to find a way to tell her that that's not okay, to not wake me up at 4 a.m. over something that's not an emergency. And I'm like, I don't think she was thinking that when she was coming in here, because I tried to wake Chandra up. I try not to wake Chandra up in the middle of the night. Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, if you didn't get a chance to see Lena's talk yesterday with Thomas, go over and take a look at that. It's on his channel. It was what I got to see was only a few minutes. And I think that, those couple of minutes were very impactful to me, obviously, because it kind of shifted my focus on what I was going to talk about today. So there's that. So I'm super glad that that Thomas is doing what he's doing, because I know that he has sometimes I think he gets a little frustrated with things, but he's doing a great job, and I'm totally glad that he's here. So that's with any and all of you that have channels, all of you with channels. Oh my goodness. And again, for any of you who are not familiar, I am in the process of building and launching my health coach business. What exactly that business is going to fully look like, I'm just starting. I'm just trying to get a couple of preliminary clients in place at a discounted rate to get my feet under me. But again, this is what it's going to look like for anybody who's curious. Back to human health coaching. I think it's very representative of how I look at all the entire space. A lot of us have been in that down and out, hopeless, helpless kind of state. And then we start to figure out how to pick ourselves up again, and then we get to moving and walking, and then we're helping other people. So I think it's one of those things that's very, very valuable. And I think that I'm super lucky to have figured out this name, because I had toyed with about 1,000 other ones. So just want to keep that in the forefront so when it launches, I can let you all know. Again, it's not going to be a primary focus of this channel or these lives, but again, this will be what sponsors most of my content moving forward as it launches, because I think it's very valuable just to mention it, because you never know who's looking for something like this, who it might help. Again, that's the sole reason we do this, for interaction, for community, for, just for conversation, but to help people who don't know they even need help. But again, with that, like I said, it's not going to be the primary focus, just a little bit of a thing there for us. But Evelyn is here. I have to tell Evelyn I am on my way. After this live, I'm going to be going to Costco to get your bags of macadamia nuts. And I want to say that my deepest condolences to you, ma'am. And I'm very, very sorry to hear about everything that happened to you. You can tell everybody what's going on if they don't already know. But just understand that my deepest condolences. And I will be giving you the biggest hug tomorrow when I see you. So be prepared for that, okay? And Sandy Blight is here. She says, good morning from Florida. People talk about Florida man all the time, okay? People talk about Florida man. So we have a town here in central Indiana called Beech Grove, okay? Chances are, if you've seen a video of somebody fighting in Walmart, it's probably in Beech Grove, Indiana. If it's based in Indiana, it's probably in Beech Grove, Indiana. And the other night, the most Beech Grove thing happened in Beech Grove. So obviously Beech Grove has they have a school district. In the middle of the night, somebody, or had to be maybe a group of people, went in and stole all the catalytic converters off of every single school bus in Beech Grove. Now, I don't live in Beech Grove. I'm about 20 miles from Beech Grove. It's on the other side of town, really, down in southeast of here. But I figure that's, if you have any understanding of what Beech Grove is, because we talk a lot about Florida Man, but Beech Grove is trying to gain its reputation. So, anyway. But I'm glad to see you, Sandy. And Cindy is here. Good morning, Cindy. So very glad to see you, my dear. I can't wait to hear all about your trip to Vegas. And Mr. Gugahan is here. Good morning, John. How are you? I'm glad to see you. And Donna Ray is here. Donna Ray. And just another red shirt is here. Good morning, my friend, Mr. Red Shirt. How are you? And we've got Mr. Christian DeLorme in the house. Hello, Christian. How are you doing, my friend? How are you and the lovely wife of yours? I hope you're both doing fantastic. And Mr. Quack Quack himself is here. Mr. Charger Mopar. Rick. Mr. Rick.
Let's get dangerous.
There we go. There we go. Welcome, Rick. So very glad to see you, my friend. And everybody's saying hello to each other. Hello, I should say it. And Mr. Dish is in the house. Good morning, Brian. How are you doing, my friend? So very glad to see you as well. All these wonderful people are here. Everybody's saying hello and talking about hitting likes and thumbs up and sharing this out and making a difference. And Isabel is here. Good morning, Isabel. How are you, dear? So very glad to see you as well. Glad to see you return. Isabel. Yes. And for any of you who didn't or weren't aware about the fact that last week I had an opportunity to be on a live stream with Mr. Ethan Suplee. If you are not familiar with television and movies, Mr. Ethan Suplee is a prolific TV and movie actor. He's been in some of the best movies that I've seen, in my life. Mallrats. He was in Mallrats, American History X. I want to say he was in Remember the Titans. He's been in tons of TV shows. My Name is Earl. I need to send this to myself so I can show it to you guys. But it was pretty crazy to me that it happened, because it was one of those things like, you don't think it's going to happen, right? I mean, it had nothing to do with what I was thinking, right? So what had done happened was I was looking to see if Dr. Barry had a live. It was Monday evening. Dr. Barry did not go live Monday night, okay? And then I saw that Carnivore's grandma was live, so I went in and spent a little bit of time in her live chatting. And then I was like, let's see who else is live. And I saw that Ethan was live. And so I jumped in the chat, and he was talking to a woman named Leah Hope. Now, I was not familiar with Leah Hope. I did not know what sort of impact she's made in so many people's lives, especially people that I know. Because when I posted about this on my personal Facebook, I had a lot of people reaching out to me saying, oh my goodness, I love Leah. She's such an inspiration. I follow her and have followed her for a long time. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really, really cool because, again, we're trying to help people. We're trying to inspire people. We're trying to get people to see things. And how do we do that? Making Instagram accounts, making YouTube, posting on TikTok, posting on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. whatever it is. So here, let me see here. I'm going to show this photo here. Because again, this was not one of those things that this was not on my Monday that day bingo card to be on a live with Ethan Suplee or even have a chance to meet him virtually even. But here we go. So here's me with Ethan and Leah Hope on Monday. Now, again, this was just a brief interaction. I was on screen for less than 5 minutes, I'm pretty sure. If 5 minutes probably was even twice as long as what it really was. It was a very short encounter because, again, I was not the focus. Leah was the focus. But I did hang around, and I did get a chance to talk backstage. Tomorrow is Ethan's 50th birthday. We've talked about that. I wished him a happy birthday. And Leah was a sweet, sweet girl, and went over and followed her on Instagram. She's got 1 million followers on Instagram, which is a crazy thing to see, seeing somebody actually have 1 million followers. And yeah, so this happened. I was not expecting this to happen. But again, just to kind of give you a backstory, again, I went in and was chatting. Leah was talking about kind of the catalyst that started her transformation. Her journey was going to Disneyland in California and being over 400 pounds. And I put in the chat, yeah, I went to Disney World for the first time with Chandra and the kids in 2015, and I was over 400 pounds. And we went hard. We did Disney hard, okay? We got there on a Sunday. We got there Sunday. We went to the beach. We went to Cape Canaveral Beach, which I'm like, I know what Cape Canaveral is, and I was excited. I love things that I've heard about. I get to see things that I've always wanted to see. Granted, we didn't get to see like where they launched the things or any cruise ships or anything that I want to see. But, you know, we got to go to the beach and see the the Atlantic Ocean for the first time. I had never seen the Atlantic Ocean, and I was in my 30s. And we did that, and then we had a house, a condo. We went to the grocery store, we stocked up for the week. And then Monday, Magic Kingdom, Tuesday, Epcot. You know, all 5 days we went to a park. Open to close, 5 days. And I'm over 500 pounds. We pushed it so hard. I didn't even get a chance to really even say that. I was on there such a short amount of time. But we really pushed it for me being 400 pounds. There was one time we were at Epcot, and we did a fast pass for a specific spot to watch the fireworks, which I did not recommend doing that because that's a waste of a fast pass. Because especially now the way the fast passes work and everything, it's just not the same. Especially back then, they were free. But I digress, right? We ran around Epcot, the World Showcase, and I am like, we're literally running, jogging, and I'm 400 pounds. And I'm like, and Shannon's like, you're doing so good. You're doing so. I'm like, I'm going to die. You know, because Disney at that extreme of a level, 5 parks in 5 days, is more than enough for somebody who is actually in tip-top shape. Disney is not for the faint of heart. Disney is one of those things that if you do everything you're trying to do, you are going to easily hit 25,000 steps in a day. But anyway, I was said that. They brought me on, and then I hung around backstage, and, you know, I told Ethan, I was like, I'd love to come back and be able to tell my entire story, and I think that would be fantastic. You know, I think that would be good for, you know, for all of us, just to be able to share that story. Be able to to get Ethan involved, make him a little more aware of our community. So hopefully that's something that does work out. But one never knows, right? One never truly knows. Yeah. Yeah, and Donna says, Dr. Kiltz is right. We're one big family. That's one thing. I mean, we really are. We have to be. We have to be. Even if I don't agree with somebody, we are all in this together. That's like the calories in, calories out people, the vegan people, all the different people, like them or whatever, agree with them. We are still in the same space and same community, trying to ultimately achieve the same goal. Well, that's really what we're here to do. We're here trying to achieve the same goal. Aaron is here. Good morning, Aaron. How are you? Good morning, everybody. I'm waiting on coffee. I hope it's been 26 minutes now. I hope you have had your coffee by now. Oh, my goodness. I do love coffee so much. Smoothie is here. Good morning, dear. How are you? Good Sunday morning, Dustin and everybody. Yeah. And Mr. Target Prime Rib here. Mr. Thomas is here. Just got here, and I'm glad I found a seat. I'm glad you're here, brother. Thank you so much for being here. And there's Mr. Rick again. Good morning, Dustin. Good morning, Rick. Glad to see you. And Josephine, our wonderful woman from down under, is here. Howdy, Dustin. Howdy, beautiful people. Welcome. So very glad to see you. And Mr. Brian Doyle is in the house. If I can get his thing to pop up. There we go. I got it. There we are. Good morning, Mr. Doyle. How are you doing, my friend? So very glad to see you. Happy Memorial Day Sunday. That's correct. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. A day we'll probably sleep in a little bit. It'll be kind of nice. Then I'm heading to Elkhart, Indiana to see some of your beautiful faces. I'm going to Elkhart, Indiana to BW3s to see Evelyn and Carl and Amy. Oh yeah, and Miriam and that Chris fellow. I hope they're traveling right now. I hope they're making good time. They're probably asleep right now, but I don't know. Hopefully they're making good time and they're being safe. Jeff is in the house. Good morning, sir. How are you? I kind of feel the same way. So I was thinking about something the other day, like it's like $300 to go to each event just for the purchase price, just for the entry fee. That doesn't include travel, accommodations, food, all the things. Just making life and getting life kind of to bend your will to go and be there. It's a rough thing going on. It's a rough thing. Maybe one day I will be able to make it to a MeatStock. Yeah, so here we got Thomas says, "No, Rick, you're dogmatic." I love it. Cindy says she gave up Alani. But why? My sister Sarah is here. Good morning, dear. How we are doing? I love you very much. Thank you for joining us. If you're still watching, my dear. And Rick says, Dustin is right as usual. I'm strict with myself, but encourage others to find what works for them. Yeah, that's the way we have to be. That's what we have to do here, right? And Josephine says, I know-ish Thomas as our new member to the home as a boy, blue-eyed ragdoll kitten, so cute. Think Sir Princess Riblet will be staying. His name is Sir Princess Riblet. That's a great little name. I love it. And Bex is here. Hello, Rebecca. How are you doing, my dear? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So very glad to see you. And Eva Lynn's got her peach on display. There we go. There's some peaches for you. Millions of peaches. Peaches for free. Millions of peaches. Peaches for me. Look out. Yes. Jennifer Lucas is in the house. Good morning, dear. How are you? She says, I love that Keto Chow is phasing out food colorings. They've been doing that for a while, though. Like, a lot of the new flavors didn't have any food colorings unless they were a part of, like, the flavor itself. Like, well, I don't even know. I think, like, what raspberry had, like, a slight reddish tint to it, but that might have been because of the flavoring instead of the, I don't know. Yeah. And Amy is here, my good friend Amy. Glad to see you, dear. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. You're welcome, Tommy boy. You gotta get love where love is due, man. Oh. All right. And Christy is in the house all the way from sunny California. She's probably eating some picanha right now. She's got some laying around in bed with a picanha snack. I don't know. Don't listen to me. Oh. Yes. And Evelyn says she is ready for hugs. And yeah, that's a rough thing. Evelyn, I love you so very much. I know that's so very difficult. So everybody, tell Evelyn that you love her. And give her some love and support. These are tough, tough times indeed. I guess Pretzel Pete is here. I don't know what bugs me about that. It's like he talked about eating a pretzel one time, and now he's Pretzel Pete. My name is Pretzel Pete. I will look at pictures of your feet. I don't know. Don't listen to me. And Rick says, too bad I was in competition with you yesterday, Christy. That's the problem. I think that there's so many amazing channels out there doing the thing. I would rather see 6 channels go live at the same time and then none. I know it's one of those things we try not to step on each other's toes. That's kind of the main reason why I do this at 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Because I was like, there's nobody going to go live at 7:30 on a Sunday. And then I find out there's Mitch. But I mean, I didn't know who Mitch was. I don't even know if he was going live at that time when I started this or not. And I mean, I think he knows who I am now, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. There's just not enough hours in the day to accommodate the number of channels there are who like to do lives, who are doing meaningful work. And the thing is we can't look at this as a competition. I feel if there are 3 channels, they're pulling in enough. They're going to pull in other people than if Rick was going live by himself. So I think it's amazing that so many people are out here doing the damn thing, because it's the most important stuff that we can do. Being visible, sharing stories, and just being human beings. Truly, truly. And Evelyn says, I shared on a couple keto pages how my emotions wanted to send me diving into a box of donuts at work, and this community would understand. I did not cave, and that's my win this week. You know, I understand 100% what you're going through. I lost my mom in 2013. I did not have the support system that I have now with all of you, and I wasn't keto or low carb. I was doing whatever I wanted. I mean, most of what I did that week that she passed away was lock myself in my room and watch movies. I just kind of secluded myself a little bit, watched movies, and just kind of had to deal with those emotions. But yeah, anytime there's a huge thing like that, we turn to those things to help dull the pain. So when my mom died, I got home from the hospital after she passed and had a big glass of whiskey. And, I mean, and rightfully so, I think, I mean, I don't hardly drink at all anymore. On very special occasions, whether those special occasions are positive or negative, or we're on vacation, which is, again, a positive occasion. But that was one of those things that sometimes you just kind of have to lean in so you don't, I don't know, it's just, feeling is hard. Letting the feelings be feelings is difficult. And so often, a lot of us have leaned into food, alcohol, whatever it is, when we have those hard feelings that we just have a difficult time feeling. But that is a win. And I'm glad we as a community could be there for you. because that's a win for me. Because unfortunately, when it comes to these types of things, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I hope that we can be there for each other when these things happen. Because they're going to happen. That's just the nature of existence. Yeah. Let's see. Let's move on a little bit from that. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a jump start back into this. And Rick says, I have no idea who that is. And that makes sense, Rick. It makes sense. If you're talking about Ethan Suplee, if you don't watch TV, you don't watch movies, especially anything from like the last 30 years, I understand. And Stacy is here. Good morning, Stacy and Ken. We love you very much. I'm glad that you could make it. Yeah, and Rick says, I normally ask my viewers to hit Dan's channel in the morning, next Sunday especially. I love it. And Pete says, who has a better beard, Dustin or Gary? No slow. I don't know. I never think I have that great of a beard, but everyone seems to think it's good. So they're a little bit different. And Pete's asking, who is Leah Hope? She's an influencer. She has a YouTube channel. I'm not sure. I can put that in here real quick. She's not a low carb, proper human diet influencer. But again, as I said, it doesn't really matter to me. Again, she's out there sharing her story, and her story is calories in, calories out. She still did what she needed to do to find her win. And I know that it's going to take everybody to make this work. I guess she has a bigger YouTube channel than I thought. She's got 1 million followers on Instagram and 402,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So she's got a bigger following than I could have thought, that I could have imagined, right? She's only got 16, let's see, total 252 videos, 558 million views total. She's quite influential. And I think that that's very valuable and important. So I'm going to put her link in here for anybody who may be interested. And we know Rick doesn't use Instagram. He's got a stone tablet that he looks at. It used to be 2, but now it's just 1. Yeah, I couldn't imagine going to Disney World at 400 pounds. It's not easy. Waiting in line and just we were at Epcot, and like the good thing about Epcot is at least there's like each country kind of has little places to sit. Man, you just get worn out. And one of the things that was good is when we got back to the condo, it was kind of like a condo complex. They had a pool and they had a hot tub, and we would go and get in the hot tub at night afterwards and just kind of like, because that kind of moving, when you're not used to moving, like I would suggest if you are going to plan to go to Disney World and you're going to do Park Hopper and you're going to go to Disney Springs and you're going to go to, Magic Kingdom and Epcot and you're going to Animal Kingdom it and you're going to go to Hollywood Studios and you're going to try to do it all, and you normally get 10,000 steps a day, up that and get more and kind of work your way to when you get there, it's not like a shock to your system. It's like running a half marathon every single day. Red Shirt says the Atlantic Ocean is the same as the Pacific Ocean, just backwards. I've seen I've seen the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf, and I've seen the San Francisco Bay. I've seen most of the waters that the United States has to offer. I've driven over the Mississippi River. I've seen the Ohio River from the plane. I've seen it go through the Grand Canyon from an airplane. You know. Pete says, I fell at work yesterday and messed up my knee, sprained it. I'll be limping for a while, and it's the busiest furniture buying day today and tomorrow. That's crazy. Well, I hope you have some good helpers. I hope you have some people to help pick up the slack, because you know how it is. I mean, you just got to take it easy. You can't push yourself too hard because you're going to hurt yourself worse. And Sunny is here. Good morning, dear. How are you? Glad to see you. Thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate that. Rick says, "Be careful if you fall; those pretzels will get you." Pretzels are delicious, and I don't care who knows it. Do I eat them? Not if I can help it, but I love them. Here we go. Let's see. Vegas used to be a value, or at least a perceived value. But now Vegas has changed. Vegas is very different now. And I haven't been since 2015. But I kind of keep an eye on things. There's a couple of creators that I like and follow who kind of show what's going on in Vegas. And I kind of keep an eye on it because I do want to go back someday. But there's nothing happening there right now that's truly compelling to make me want to go back. The Sphere is cool, and the Sphere hosts some pretty cool bands. Like Tool is going to do a residency. I'm a big Tool fan, at least their first couple of records. And Metallica's doing a residency there, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not going to be able to afford to go to either of them. A buddy of mine went and saw U2 there twice. I think he paid like $3,000 a ticket, which to me is clown shoes. Which is big and ridiculous because clown shoes are large and ridiculous. But yeah. Angela is here. Good morning, dear. How are you? So very glad to see you. Papa Carnivore says, thanks, Christy. Hopefully my knee will heal quickly because I am a carnivore, right? Well, I mean, sometimes you hurt and you just take a little while to heal. I'm a little thirsty. Sometimes coffee does not quench your thirst. The more you know. Carl is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you could see. I'm going to see you tomorrow in the real life, in the real person things. Got to add keto brains to my fresh cup of bones coffee. And I mean, people talk a lot of crap about Disney, and I'm a Disney adult, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Is Disney expensive? Yes. Does Disney bring value? Disney, like a lot of things, brings value to those who find value in it. Not everybody's going to find value in Disney. Not everybody's going to find value in Vegas. There's a lot of things that we all enjoy that bring us value that is perceived value that others don't find. Like, I love death metal shows. I love going to see death metal bands. I love them. I go to see them. I don't think there's another one of you in this chat right now who would go with me knowingly, willingly, and go see the bands that I like. That's just the way it is, and that's okay. I'm excited to go back to Disney. I don't think Disney right now is a great place to go. If I had to go right now, I would. We do need to go back before 2028, as we do have a ticket to use. Again, when in 2018, Shannon and I went to Disney, and we had our how many days we bought. We had the days that we bought, and we bought a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween park ticket for the party on Halloween night. And we've done that twice now. I love it. People would think that that's crazy. For the price you pay for that party, I think it's amazing. It's a lot of fun, and it's a value to us. And So we had to go back because, again, I had a tooth issue. I had to have a tooth pulled. It was infected. It was swollen. Very, very painful. So we had 1 day left. They said, when do you think you'll be back? Do you think you'll be back within 10 years? So they gave us 10 years to use that ticket. So I'm hoping that we get to do that. And I've also put in our calendar for Chandra and I to go for our 50th birthday to go to Disney. Now, our birthdays are in June, but I like going to Disney in October. It starts to kind of cool off. It's still warm. It's still be in the 80s, but it's not that overbearing, ridiculous Florida heat. It's still nice. And it typically doesn't rain all that much in October like it does in the summertime where it rains every day. Like I don't think it rained but a sprinkle like the last 2 times we've been there. Fine with me. But again, like one of those things, like right now, I don't think Disney's the value because there's a lot of things under construction. There's a lot of walls. There's a lot of things that aren't done yet. But I think that because of Epic Universe has kind of lit a fire under Disney. But I think Disney was kind of in the I think kind of what really, if you're familiar with what's going on with Disney had the Reedy Creek Improvement District. And that was kind of like their governing body that allowed them to do things to kind of like on their own property to kind of circumvent the state. Because the state bureaucratic, the red tape and all that stuff, and they could do it on their own. And then they got into a fight with DeSantis over all this stuff, which is not a topic for the channel. Just an idea that they did get into a fight with the governor of Florida and he revoked their thing. But I guess there's some loopholes that Disney has because they're a large corporation that had contracts and lawyers and things, and they were able to do whatever they still need to do. But because of that, I think that delayed a lot of the improvements and construction things that they really wanted to do to the parks. At least that's the whole idea. But we're getting Villains Land. Hopefully that turns out the way that I'd like to see it. The Cars Land's a little meh, but I'm excited for it still. I think it'll still be kind of cool to see. But Villains Land, hopefully they do it the way that Disney can do it. And there's a lot of other things coming, and hopefully they come up with some pretty cool stuff because I think they really need to put some expansion into Animal Kingdom and some more. There's always more need for more stuff at Hollywood Studios. But yeah, I'm a big Disney fan, and that's just how I am. And Papa Carnivore is asking, what is Keto Brains? It's a powdered keto creamer, like a coffee creamer with like MCT oils and coconut powder, like coconut oil powder or coconut milk powder or whatever. It's pretty tasty. And we would use it if it wasn't the price that it is. People who get the value out of it are willing to pay that price. I didn't get out of it what it costs. We just use heavy cream and butter. And Pete says, I make my patented fatty coffee deluxe. Lots of butter, some bacon grease, splash of heavy cream, MCT oil, vanilla, cinnamon, whip it up, yum. Well, mine is very similar to that, but I don't put bacon grease in my coffee. That doesn't sound appetizing to me. I'm sure it's probably not bad, but I like a lot of butter, and a splash of heavy cream is a lot. I'm like, blub, 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 and I don't care. I measure with my heart. Smoothie, you should come to BW3's tomorrow in Elkhart at 6 p.m. Yes. It would be cool. I would like it. And of course, Sarah says, yes, I am here and I'm listening strong like bull. I love you also. Very good. I like it. That sounded so insincere. Very good. Thank you. It was like very love transactional thing. You know how it is. Sometimes you just say weird stuff, right? And Pete says sometimes I add a little organic monk fruit. I don't like sweet coffee. I just don't like sweet coffee. It's just not my thing. It's kind of like what Dennis Leary says. I like flavored coffee. And Isabel's asking, Peter, do you put coffee in it too? Aaron says, wow, Cindy, I'm proud of you. My 18-year-old won't even touch Alani with a 10-foot pole. Alani, I think, is pretty good. I mean, they're in our house. I'm not against energy drinks. I mean, I probably shouldn't drink them, but I don't know. I'm here doing what I do. Pete says it kind of tastes like a warm milkshake. That's how I like about my keto chows. I drink my keto chows hot. Christy says picanha in bed. I mean, let's see, like it's like on a thing you just pull it down, and it just goes back up. You know, that's the thing. It's like we can't get picanha here, and that hurts my feelings because I want picanha, but there's no picanha nearby. I mean, I'm sure if I went to some butcher shop and I'm like, hey, I want picanha, and was willing to pay $20 a pound, I could probably get some picanha. But I'm not going to do it. No way. And Christy says, I did make a picanha yesterday, ate about a pound. I love it. Sean is finally here. Good morning, sleepyhead. Welcome. Glad you could join us. I hope you and Cheryl are doing well, my friend. And here is the low-carb events link for the Elkhart meetup info for tomorrow. I hope that some of you can make it out. Sean is driving home from the store. Excuses, excuses. Yes, excuses. And Pete says, I got a big USDA choice New York bone-in strip steak for dinner tonight. I got several on sale for $7.99 a pound. That's a great deal. We got boneless ones for $8.99 a pound. Last week, I bought 16 pounds and they're gone already. It's like when we go for a while without having any steak. Like, we eat a lot of chicken. I mean, any more of these prices, we eat a lot of chicken. But when we get some steak, I love New York strip is. Okay, this might be one of the craziest things, and you guys may want to disown me, but I kind of like New York strip better than I like ribeye. Is that weird? It comes back to that preference thing. I like a New York strip more than I like ribeye, I think. It's cheaper too, so it's kind of like a win-win for me. I like it and it's cheaper. Booby Goat says Kroger has brisket for $5.99 a pound. I don't know what. It's weird how all of the cuts that used to be unloved now have premium price tags. Brisket, like skirt steak, cow tongue, all like oxtails, all the things that used to be throwaway for most people are now commanding bigger prices. I also bought 4 big Joyce T-bone steaks. I'm not a big fan of T-bones. Aaron says she got a nice $40 brisket. I love it. And I don't know what Jennifer Lucas is going on about. God didn't make little green apples and thunderstorms. I don't know what you're talking about, dear. But I thought he did make apples. It's kind of the whole point of what happened. You know what I mean? And Thomas says, I just finished mopping my floor. Does it look better now? I don't know. I can't see it. I'm not there, buddy. But I'm sure it looks fabulous. I'm sure it's a real beaut, Clark. Oh, tri-tip for $4.99 a pound, especially untrimmed. See, that's what I'm talking about. Tri-tip. Tri-tip is like, isn't like tri-tip is what like the big chili competition people always used. Tri-tip chili. Yeah. Mr. Googahan says, good morning to Cindy. I was listening in the background while emptying my dishwasher. I just got to say that you said good morning. Sorry about the delay. I wasn't ignoring you. That's what I say. Like when I'm watching these live, sometimes I'm like listening and doing stuff and I'll say hello. And then I'm like, squirrel. You know, It's just what it is. Oh, let's see. People are making fun of Pete right now. Carl says 32 watching and only 16 likes. What the hell? John Gugahan says Dustin's beard is second to none. I don't know. I don't think that, but that's just kind of, I think that's better for me. Let's see. Pete says, Aaron, I love brisket. My grandmom, who lived to 103, ate 2 eggs fried in butter with coffee every morning, ate fatty brisket, a whole chicken in a pot with peeled potatoes, onions, celery, carrots. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think we talk about like the whole idea of like carnivore only. There's so many people who live to be 100+ years old who ate potatoes and carrots and celery and eggs fried with butter and bacon grease and drank coffee and probably moonshine and probably even smoked some. But am I condoning smoking? Absolutely not. Are we a better off society without smoking? Yes. I still find it funny that we'll see people who are like, don't put pepper on your steaks, and then have a light of a big cigar. And I'm like, you don't inhale them. I'm like, yeah, you're still getting it in your body. You draw it into your mouth. It pulls it in. May not go into your lungs necessarily, but it probably isn't not going into your lungs too. I don't know. That's just one of those things. I see people smoking cigars, and I'm like, but you don't put pepper on your steaks. Make it make sense. I don't know. It's just the weird stuff that I see. Stuff that I see. The things that make you go, Yeah, so Pete says, my grandmom ate especially ketovore, lots of eggs, butter, and fatty meat with some veg and lived to 103 and a half. Yeah, I mean, that's the way it went. Thomas says, I just subscribe to her. When I get the courage, I will invite her to my show. What courage? What do you need? She's just a person. She's just a person who's lost weight like us. Just because a lot of people know who she is doesn't make her any different than us. And that's how I look at things. Doesn't matter whether you're Dr. Barry or Anthony Chafee or Dr. Kiltz or any of these people. They're all just people. I mean, Dr. Barry says we're all just dudes and chicks. Now, I think we have our own kind of perspective on some of these people, and we look up to them, and there are definite pedestals we put people on, even unknowing, even just kind of, the way that we do things. We don't even realize we're doing it, but we do. I mean, we all look up to Dr. Barry for the most part. People look up to Dr. Kiltz. All different people in our community. Some people even look up to Rick whenever they're standing next to him. And, I mean, we're all just here. I think that's an important perspective to have, I think, for most of us. And Pete says, as Rick says, eating some fresh seasonal fruits and veggies is what's killing people. It's it's the sugar, the processed food, like seed oils. Look, I don't even think necessarily if seed oils were an occasional thing, I don't even think they would be much of an issue. I don't think that seed oils in a vacuum, occasionally, if you had, even now, if you had a little bit of mayo, if you were out and you put some mayo from whatever on a burger patty that you had, and your only option was Miracle Whip or whatever it is, right, or Hellman's or whatever, I don't think that's going to be a big issue for the majority. Are there going to be people that have a reaction? Of course. But again, we kind of get lost because we are in a situation where we are inundated with people in a very small, concentrated community where we have come together to try to solve these issues that we have, and we kind of find out we have similar issues. People who can't tolerate seed oils as well as others. People who, obviously, a lot of us, we can't process carbohydrates like some people can. We type 2 diabetics, and we have issues where celiac disease, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis. We have all these things that cause a lot of this community issues. And we've come here to this community to try to fix those where the outside pharmaceutical industry, healthcare system has failed us. So we start doing these N equals 1 and we find things that work. Now, I think that gets lost on us sometimes because we are really just kind of interacting with people who are dealing with similar things. And then we forget that the outside world, like the idea that seed oils are a problem is something that the average person on the street gives less than 0% about. There are other things that they are concerned about besides seed oils. Because if they were concerned, by the time you get to seed oils, you fixed a lot of other things. Okay, that's one thing that's kind of drives me nuts about some of like the bigger movements that are going on outside of our community where they're focusing on like seed oils first. Now, is that a good thing? Yes, it's a net positive. But is it the first thing that we should have worked on? Probably not. But I think it is kind of one of those low-hanging fruits that's like, well, people are like, well, if you fix it, you fix it. If you don't, you don't. But I mean, seed oils are not a day one problem, in my opinion. Processed foods, sugars, just the ability to eat this food where you cannot stop. It's in the marketing to a lot of this stuff. Like once you pop, you just can't stop. But you can't just eat one. It's in the marketing. They're not even trying to hide it. That's the bigger issue. Now, again, seed oils is so prevalent that everything that we consume outside of this, like go to the grocery store trying to find a mayonnaise, trying to find some kind of salad dressing, try to find something, even breads and just anything and every, like I found another keto channel, like a keto channel, like a dirty keto channel. She may not describe herself that way, but I found it and she had made these little sandwiches out of real good food. They had like these chicken fillets. They kind of look like like a fast food chicken sandwich, right? And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I started going and looking at their website to see what stores near me might carry them. And I decided to look at the ingredients. And I haven't gone to buy any because they're cooked in seed oils. They've got like maybe pea protein. I can maybe show it to you here. Let me see. Let me see if I can find them here. Let's see. All right, let me go ahead and bring this. I'll bring this up for you guys to see. I think it's very valuable. All right. We're going to click away from that. All right, so here we've got these lightly breaded chicken breast fillets. So real good food. There are 4 net carbs. Again, the net carb game. 23 grams of protein per serving. Nothing artificial, no added hormones. This sounds good on the surface, right? And let's see if I can find the, let me see if I can find the ingredients in here somewhere. It may not even be on the website here. Oh, here we go. Ingredients. Now, you may or may not be able to read this, but it says chicken breast with rib meat, water, chickpea flour containing 2% or less of salt, whey protein concentrate, baking soda, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, citric acid, celery powder, dried mustard, black pepper, thyme, basil, ginger, oregano, white pepper, turmeric, whole egg fried in canola oil. Five total carbs. 1 fiber. So, I mean, 5 total carbs, not the end of the world for a chicken sandwich, right? You pair that with my waffles that are 0 carbs, and you've got a 5 carb sandwich. You put some cheese on it, 6 carbs. That sounds like a delicious sandwich. Or you do it like, you know, like if you want to do it like Chick-fil-A, then just put some pickles on it, and you're good to go. Maybe a little onion or something like that. You know what I mean? Not crazy. But if it was a little bit cleaner, if they didn't use the chickpea flour and they didn't, the whey proteins, meh. But, I mean, the whole fried and canola oil and the chickpea powder is kind of like, that's kind of what gets me, right? So I'm not going to go and seek these out. I want to. I think they're probably delicious. I mean, probably not as good as I want them to be. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. They've got others. Like if you go in here and you start looking at their chicken, you start going here, you got lightly breaded chicken, chicken meatballs. There was a company that had some amazing meatballs that they used to sell at Costco. And they were like 1 carb for 6 or something crazy like that. So you could eat like just a ridiculous amount of meatballs for very, very low carb. They were chicken meatballs. They were so good. So we can look here, lightly breaded chicken. And you can even sort this out. You can find a store. Let's do that. Well, let's see. Because they have some that are seed oil free. Like here's this one. No seed oils. Lightly breaded chicken breast chunks. 4 net carbs. No seed oils. So what we can do is we can sit here and we can look. Now, see, these are available at Sam's Club. So I could have our kids buy me a bag of these. These ones probably, we'll see what the ingredients are. Again, I mean, I've eaten these before. They're not bad. Are they as good as you want them to be? No. But ingredients, chicken breast with rib meat, chickpea flour, whey protein, baking soda, all the spices, whole egg, cooked in 100% pure tallow. So that's a win and a meh. Like like the idea of these two things, it could be better, right? Those could be better. But it's just one of those things. Like we're in the process of being better. We are working on it. We're trying to be better, but it's just going to take time, right? It's going to take time. Let's see. Sean says, when we went to Disney last year, we put in between 20 and 25,000 steps every day. Yeah, I love it. And Pete says, people can be perfectly healthy on carnivore, keto, ketovore. I was keto, then ketovore for a few months before going carnivore. My thing about the whole idea of like carnivore, then when they talk about keto's almost like, well, I was keto, but then I found carnivore and realized that keto was trash. I just kind of get that vibe from a lot of people. They're like, and maybe it's just a little bit of keeping up with the Joneses. Like, I don't want to seem like I was okay with being keto because I want to be cool with my carnivore friends. I don't know. It's kind of a thing like that, I think. And Thomas is right. Pretzels are twisted. Maritza is here. Good morning, dear. How are you? So very good to see you. And Meeting Wellness says, I saw Alanis Morissette in Vegas, and that was fun. I would love to have seen her back in the 90s. I think that would have been fun, like on the Jagged Little Pill tour. That would have been fun. I don't know if I'd really care now. One of the times I was in Vegas, I was there maybe 2012, maybe. I was there. I went 4 times, 06, 09, 2012, and 2015. So like every 3 years, I went for like 4 times. And Stone Temple Pilots with Scott were playing at the Palms. And I didn't go. I was like, I'll catch him again. I'm in Vegas. I don't want to go to a concert. That's a lot of time to waste. And then he died shortly thereafter. So I was like, oh, man. Angela says, I fell this evening. So I need to put you and Pete back to back so you guys don't fall, wrap you in some plastic? If Shauna was here, I'd put you all together to you and put you on a bubble. Bubble wrap. She gets so mad about that. But she says, I fell Friday evening. At least the swelling in my forearm has gone down, but my back really hurt. Slippery steps, both feet went from under me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's rough. Especially as you get older. Like when you're a kid, you fall down all the time. Like remember going skating and you'd fall in the skating rink and it was not a big deal. Now you fall and like the world's ending. It's just over. Yeah, that's weird how they just shuttered. But again, I mean, really, if you're going to give away free food to anybody who's 350 pounds in this country, and people are probably going to go there because they're 350 pounds, you're probably going to lose a lot of business. Christy says Atlantis was 50th birthday present from. Oh, that's sweet. It's a very nice gift. Pete says, people think I eat a lot of pretzels. I actually don't eat them because when I had 3 mini pretzels several months ago, I was sick for 3 days on the toilet. That's just one of those crazy things to me. It's like, how could 3 little pretzels cause that much issues when I could sit and eat a bag of them without even blinking? That's the problem of pretzels to me, is because I can eat a whole bag. The problem to me isn't the food itself. Like, if I could have Kraft mac and cheese every once in a while, or have whatever it is French fries every once in a while, that's not the problem. I don't think the highly palatable, highly processed food, if it was legitimately an every once in a while thing, I don't think it would be a problem. But the fact of the matter is, whenever I eat it, I just can't stop. It's the whole box of mac and cheese, or 2 boxes of mac and cheese, 4 packs of ramen. It's like a whole pizza. It's the idea that type of food is just you can't stop. Like, it's very steak. I can sit down with 2 steaks and have difficulty eating 2 pounds of steak, but I could probably eat 3 pounds of macaroni and cheese, and my body would just keep letting me shovel it in. When it comes to the foods that really help you find satiety, then it's a complete game changer for us. And there's an influencer on Instagram, a big guy. Some of you may know him. He has red hair, big guy, and he's moved to California, moved 2,000 miles across the country. He's got himself a personal trainer, like a live-in coach kind of thing. He's doing this thing. He's trying to lose this weight. He's like, started like 600 pounds. He's down to like 400 and something. He's doing amazing. But he did a weigh-in the other day and he was up a pound. And he was like, this normally would have caused me to spiral. But I just kind of wanted to jump into the video and be like, dude, you just moved 2,000 miles across country, upended your entire life. Your routine is different. Your living conditions are different. Your living location is different. You are putting your health and your happiness in the hands of a trainer. I don't even know how well you know this person. Does this person were they ever big like you? He's shorter than this guy. This guy's like 6'5" or something like that. He looks like a monster. He's just tall. And he's like, with this personal trainer and all these things. And I'm thinking to myself, of course you didn't lose weight. You've upended your entire life. And he's like, and he said something that really, really kind of caught me off guard. He's like, I measured and weighed even my lettuce to the gram. Think about that for a second. He said, I measured my lettuce to the gram. Now, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to say, how many calories in a, say, medium head of lettuce? How many calories and carbohydrates? Let's take a look at that. A medium head of lettuce, about 6 inches in diameter, 350 grams total weight, contains approximately 75 calories, 16 grams of carbohydrates. Because the exact numbers fluctuate depending on the variety, here's a breakdown of the 2 most common types. Iceberg, which is going to be 75 calories and 16 grams of carbohydrates, or green leaf, which would be 54 calories and 10 grams of carbohydrates. The fact that he's like measuring his lettuce to the gram, and you can eat 350 grams of lettuce for 75 calories, and then he's going to lift the scale and be up a pound even after putting his body and his self through such a difficult experience. And then the trainer's like, well, we're not going to let you spiral, instead of being like, dude, you moved across country. You changed your living situation, your everything. You've upended your life to fix this issue. And I don't know if anybody tried to talk him out of it. There's just things that I kind of wonder, like, you know, I admire him for his gumption and his tenacity. But also it like makes me sad, because I don't think that that's a necessity for the average person. Maybe he needed to do it. Maybe that's what he needed. Maybe that was I mean, it's obviously his journey, but like, how good can that coach be if the coach sees he's up a pound and they're like, well, we'll just work harder tomorrow. We'll go to the gym tonight. Like, bro, like, really? Understand how the body works. I don't know. It's just, there's certain things about our community, and I know that that's not necessarily what would be considered intertwined with our community, but it is the greater piece of our community is the health, wellness, the whole idea of self-betterment, trying to be better tomorrow than you were yesterday and what you are today, is our community. Whether it's the proper human diet, keto, carnivore, vegan, calories in, calories out, whatever. I just don't understand how somebody could be like, you know, I'm just upset. I don't know. That just bothers me. And I don't have a way to articulate it. And I think that if I were to put something out, like a short about it or something, then people would be like attacking me. And I don't necessarily think it would be helpful. But I almost kind of feel like the guy that he's working with seems predatory to me. And maybe it's not. It's an outside perspective. But that kind of thing worries me. And I kind of think like, that is not the kind of health coach that I want to be. That's not who I want to be. That's not how I want to do things. And I don't think I could do that if I wanted to. I mean, I just don't have the ability to be that way. John Together Strong is here. Good morning, my friend. How are you? And Josephine says, life is meant to be fun, not full of stress. Well, we do need a certain amount of stress. I think our bodies are designed for a certain amount of stress. And Jen says, Disney's out of my budget, especially since plumbers took all my money. Yeah. Yeah, Disney's out of a lot of people's budget. It's a very budget-unfriendly place. And Stacy says, I had to quit saying I love it for all the bad foods that got me unhealthy. I now focus on whole foods based on that foods that I love, that love me, refocus for good health. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the mindset is the thing, like, but I have to be, you know, it's one of those things like I have to acknowledge where I came from. And I think it's very important to share, like, you know, I have a hard time with those foods. I kind of look at it as I love them. They don't necessarily love me back. I enjoy them as much as I probably shouldn't, but that kind of is how it is, you know? Let's see. Thomas says, I think this Wednesday is going to be a roundtable for me, and my guest will not answer me, and I know she's seen my messages to her. Well, I don't know. I don't know what that's all about, but I mean, that kind of happens from time to time. People make commitments that they're not really able to commit to. Maybe they'll change. Hopefully it'll be. So Smoothie says, not sure where BW3s is in Elkhart. If you go to lowcarbevents.com, the address is there. I don't know where it is, and I'm gonna put the address in, and then it's gonna let GPS take me. Because I don't live in Elkhart. I live in Indianapolis, like 3 hours away. Jen Lucas says, I hope the new lower price carnivore bars, everyday bars, are great. The original isn't affordable. It's not affordable for most. I don't know who can go, I ordered 50 carnivore bars for $700. What a deal. That's insanity. That's some rich people shit. That's some like, oh, I bought a box of carnivore bars to take with us on the private jet buffet. And then you're spraying Grey Poupon on them. Grey Poupon. There should be a Grey Poupon flavor carnivore bar. And it should have a Bentley on it because that's expensive. And like I said, I am not anti-carnivore bar. I think they do a great thing. They're trying to build a business with what people want. People want grass-fed, grass-finished. They want clean ingredients. But unfortunately, that comes at a price that I cannot afford. I mean, there's no way to crunch those numbers that it can make it work. It's just not going to happen. Angel said, I added cinnamon and vanilla to my coffee. It is good. It sounds good. Amy had to go to church. Be safe, dear. I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe tonight. Probably, maybe. We'll see what's going on. And Pete says, I'd rather spend my money on steaks, eggs, butter than overpriced carnivore bars. If I had the money, I would imagine having them in stock. Like if I was rich and I could have whatever I needed in the pantry at any given time, sure, a box of carnivore bars probably wouldn't be the biggest problem in the world if $700 wasn't an object to me. But even still, like if I had freezers full of meat and I had elk that I needed and and I'm like, okay, I can have a carnivore, but it's not what I go to. Like I don't really even need the snack too much. I take my granddaughter to Culver's on Friday nights. It's like our little granddad, my Paul and granddaughter day. She likes to go. And I asked them, I was like, how much are your single beef patties? They're $2.50 each. I was like, no, thank you. No, I'm okay. That's crazy. And I know that's pretty much what I was charged for 4 patties, for the 4 bigger patties at Sonic the other day. But that had cheese and onion and mustard on them and pickle and I got 4 for $10, basically, like 4 for $9 something, 10 something. And I think that was even with a drink. I got a soda. So yeah. It is true. I am abused. I live on a picanha desert. There's no picanha here that I can find. Marisa says she overslept. Well, you're here now, and that's all that matters. Sean says, I got my labs back Friday. It has left me with even more questions. My thyroid panel, including free T3 and T4, were normal. Now, my question, though, is this: what part of normal were they? Were they low normal, medium normal, high normal? Like, if you look at that, let me pull up something here real quick. Oh, I want to open my Kindle here. Let me see. That's what I want. So let's see, THS, so TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Let's see, standard is 0.45 to 4.5. Optimal is 0.5 to 2. That's the U.S. units. T4 free direct would be 0.82 to 177, with optimal being 1.0 to 1.5. That's optimal. Let's see, where's the rest of let's see, is there more? Okay, here we go. T3 free. Let's see, that's going to be standard is 2 to 4.4, optimal is 3.0 to 3.5. Reverse T3, 9.2 to 24.2, with optimal being 7 to 9. And then thyroid peroxidase, so the TPOAB would be 00 to 34, optimal being less than 6. And the thyroglobulin antibodies is 0 to 0.9, and then the optimal is the same, somewhere between 0 and 0.9. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what you say about that. They were all low normal. So what I would do, if they're low normal, I would see about getting them to where they need to be. And again, double check with your doctor. I am not a healthcare professional. Obviously, look at me. But I would say, yeah, so that's what I've got. I've got the labs here, the lab book by Dr. Berry. Yeah, I think that's one of those things. Yeah. Because just because it's normal and it doesn't mean it's normal for you. You probably need a little higher, maybe. Cortisol was really low, 5.2. That's interesting. Well, that's good. You want cortisol to be a little low, right? And Rick says the Indy 500 winner drinks a big glass of milk. Yeah, he drinks a big quart of milk, yeah. Except for one year, there was a guy who didn't, and it was like a controversy here. Sounds about right. I like it. Kentucky Brenda says, doing the family thing. So popping in for thumbs up. Well, I appreciate that, Brenda. Thank you so much, Miss Foley. I appreciate you. It's good to see you. Got a high plains camper. Camper says hi. Hello, Mr. Camper. How are you doing? Beef cheeks. Beef cheeks are $4.97 a pound at Sam's Club. That used to be like throwaway. Yeah, Mr. Gugahan says that he used to like New York strip better than ribeye, but now it's neck and neck. I mean, really, I'll take whatever's on sale. I'm okay with. I like a good thick New York strip, and it's got to be really rare, crusty on the outside, rare on the inside. Sandy Blythe is in the house, and so is Steadfast. Hello, Sharon. How are you doing? Oh, yes, don't forget to like and subscribe and all the fun things. Jennifer says, I'm dating myself and it don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Mr. Twin Brook Acres is in the house. Hello, Rick. Did you make it home safe, my friend? And Brian says, food prep Sunday, making bacon, pecan, asparagus, and keto chow creamy. It is. Keto chow cream is, okay, it must be, I'm not sure what else that's supposed to be. Get picanha, BJ's for $11 a pound. Well, our BJ's are like 45 minutes from here, and I don't have a membership, and there's no guarantee that the BJ's in my town is going to carry picanha. Evelyn says, okay, I'm loving the fact that spell check made picanha into piranha. 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. Mr. Rick says, had a slight delay on the second leg, Cindy, but all is good otherwise. Fantastic. And Mr. Rick says, no cigars or pepper here. I kind of stopped using pepper a while ago. I'm not sure why. I just was like, salt. It wasn't like a conscious thing, really. I was just like, man, I don't need it. I used to use it just because I was like, you're supposed to use it. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna bother with it today. Karen Harrington is in the house. Good morning, beautiful people, she says. Well, good morning to you, Karen. Happy that you're here today. Yeah, it was really great. I got to have, I say, Rick, it was great to see you and Lynn again, said Cindy. And I had lunch with them twice. That's 2 times. Ha! Because I'm cooler than Cindy. I'm cooler than Cindy. Mer, 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 mer. Rick says, I don't look up to any doctor, especially. I think that it's important that someone like Dr. Barry is pushing and helping us kind of expand and get a foothold outside of kind of a small little knit. We need that. We need to move outwards. And everybody needs to make a little bit of money or they can't do what they're doing. And a doctor's going to make money. Because if he wasn't able to make money doing this, he wouldn't do it. Or wouldn't be able to do it, I should say. I don't make money. I don't make much money doing this, but I still do it because I'm in a specific circumstance. But I have to start making money. I don't have any money to do anything. There we go. Mr. Jeremiah's in the house. Good morning, my friend. How are you? And Lance is in the house. Good morning, Lance. How are you? And Donna Ray says, staying on OMAD for another week as long as it goes well. Lost a little weight, but not much. All is good. Angela says, Pete, my plan is to replace some of those steps and put in anti-slip strips to make them safer. I have osteoporosis, and thankfully I did not break anything. Well, yeah, 100%. I'm so glad you're okay. And Jennifer Lucas says, I wonder if the theory that seed oils plus too much sun equals skin cancer, the sun only is not a skin cancer risk. I mean, I think that the sun in itself is radiation. Though the idea that the sun causes cancer is 100%, and it can, even without seed oils. The sun is radiation. Now, again, our bodies have a natural kind of defense against radiation. We can heal. We live in an atmosphere that blocks a lot of the radiation that comes in, but not 100% of it. And we are susceptible to radiation. That's kind of like when it comes to going to space, there's a Van Allen radiation belt that's like 30,000 miles long or something like that. It takes a while to get through. But yeah, I mean, humans are susceptible to the sun. The sun sends down a lot of radiation. So the idea, I think seed oils, so kind of how I would look at it, kind of what I'm understanding is the fact that seed oils may inhibit our natural ability to repair the natural damage the sun causes. Because again, not being in the sun, not good for us. Being in too much sun, not good for us. Now, can we adapt and can we kind of, like, we look at people who are super tan? Is that kind of like a callus on our skin for the sun? Kinda. But you see those people who have been in the sun so much, and they're all leathery looking. They're like, oh, hi, I'm here. I'm in the sun. You know, you go down to Florida and stuff, like you see those people that are like just baked. I think there's just a little bit of that where I think the seed oils inhibit some of the body's natural ability to heal itself in a manner that keeps maybe most of the cancer at bay. Again, I am just an idiot on the internet. But if seed oils, if people are finding like N equals ones of reducing seed oils, and they're reducing sunburns and those types of things, it would stand to reason that seed oils and other processed foods, like, and having high insulin and all these things and just inflammation in general, the body is focused so much on the internal that it doesn't have as much time to fix the external. Because this, again, the body is going to prioritize life systems first. I mean, that's just the way the body's probably going to focus on the internals first, then versus the outside. Then therefore, I think maybe the outside kind of gets neglected, and then maybe has a better opportunity to see cancer and things like that. But again, that's an uneducated hypothesis. I'm educated only in the fact that I pay attention to a lot of people, and I just kind of come up with my own hypothesis of what kind of seems to make sense. But that is not necessarily going to be what's true, but it seems to make sense to me. So again, I'm just an idiot on the internet. Take it for what it's worth, right? So Jeff says, seed oil and plastic containers are what my wife has eliminated. It's a small, good step towards reducing inflammation. Yeah. Plastic containers is like impossible to totally get rid of, because even like aluminum cans are kind of like, there's plastic on the inside. There's plastic on everything. I did see a study the other day. Now, I don't know how true this is. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Microplastic tests. I saw this, and I'll read this out. It's like, so University of Michigan study revealed that common nitrile and latex lab gloves inadvertently skew microplastics testing. The gloves shed non-plastic particles called stearates, STARATES, coatings used to help them peel off manufacturing molds. These particles chemically mimic plastic during analysis, causing up to 2,000 false positives per square millimeter. Now, is this something to take into consideration? Absolutely. Also, I wonder who's paying for these studies. Again, like any study, how dangerous are microplastics? How much of this is skewed data? We have to, trust the science, right? But we got to trust the testing protocols. We got to always look at the testing protocols. How are we getting the data? What's the data coming from? So chemical mimicry, stearates, salts are soap-like compounds that manufacturers apply to gloves. When researchers handle equipment, these particles transfer to the samples. Testing equipment failure under standard infrared and RAMAN spectroscopy. I don't know. Don't worry about me. I can't talk sometimes or read very well. Vibrational spectroscopy. Stearates produce a chemical fingerprint that looks nearly identical to polyurethane. Very interesting. Data overestimation. This shedding forces testing devices to count the particles as actual plastic, vastly inflating pollution estimates of the air, water, and soil samples being studied. How to fix the issue? Researchers have identified solutions to eliminate glove-based contamination in future studies. Switch to clean room gloves. Switching to nitrile clean room gloves dramatically drops false positives from around 2,000 down to roughly 100 per square millimeter. Clean room gloves are designed to shed significantly fewer particles. Review existing data for laboratories that already have contaminated data sets. The study outlines specific computational workflows to filter and differentiate stearate contamination from true microplastics. That's pretty interesting. What do you guys think about that? I want to know. I want to know what love is. Let's see. All right. Jennifer says, I stopped feeding Charlie dino nuggets and switched to real good chicken products. Even Charlie loves them. Yeah, they're a lot better than regular nuggets. I would say maybe I would like to be able to make nuggets. It's just a time thing, right? Lance says, the amount of chickpea flour probably wouldn't affect younger people on keto. Chickpeas are a higher fat. I would be more concerned with the seed oils. I still have too much healing to do to eat it. Yeah. And I mean, I think they're a better option than what's out there. Because Sharon says, my daughter-in-law and son buy these real goods for their kids. I think they're a great alternative. They're just not quite where I would like to see them. Let's see. Evelyn says, they had the real good chicken strips at Sam's Club on sale. I was going to get them for the kids as they are better than the other things they eat. They are not keto. I would say, and again, this is one of those things that kind of gets tossed around. Like, I don't think there's any keto or non-keto foods. I think if they're 4 to 5 grams of carbohydrates per serving versus like the average chicken nugget is 14 to 20 carbohydrates per serving, I think they're a much better option. Can they fit a keto lifestyle? Absolutely. But if for someone like me, I'm going to eat the whole bag. Maybe not a Costco size bag, but I'm going to eat a bunch of them. Andy is here. Hello, Andy. I hope you're having the best time. She says, riding the train back to the hotel after seeing surfers on the Munich River. Totally awesome. I made a video. Miss you guys. Be home on Thursday. Oh, my goodness. You're going to sleep for like 5 days when you get home, I think, right? I would. I'd be knocked out. There we go. Exploding Darkness is here. Steph, good morning, dear. How are you? I feel like I haven't seen you in my chat for a long, long time. But I know it's early, but that's okay. I'm glad you're here now. And Thomas says, Christy, I sent you an email. Let's see. Angela Mullins, glad to hear that Jennifer, my homemade chicken nugget, let's see, my grandchildren like them, but the ones I buy, only half of them like them, mainly because of the spices. Yeah, that's one thing that, like, I think the spices. And Sharon says, I lost half my body weight in keto and fixed my gut IBS on carnivore. And again, I'm not ever trying to say that keto or carnivore is inherently bad. I think it's great for healing. Do I think most people need to be on carnivore their entire lives, especially if they've healed? No. You can kind of like, I mean, if you get to a point where carnivore is your thing, awesome. I support that. If you get to carnivore and heal and start to walk it back and find things that you can still enjoy, awesome. I support you. But I just, it's the idea that you have to go carnivore. There's nothing else. It's carnivore, nothing. No, I'm not behind that. And Jennifer says, keto is a godsend for most. Carnivore, however, addresses more of my personal health issues. It's certainly not for everyone. I think by the time a lot of us find the issues or find out what's going on with us, carnivore is a fantastic thing to utilize. Because we have gone so long and ignored our bodies for so long that the idea that carnivore is a true way to repair a lot of the damage. But if we're going to take a step back and look at the big picture of the United States, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, all these countries, I think we have to be more open to the idea that getting people just to Whole Foods is going to be a major win. And some of those people will continue on and then maybe move to carnivore, keto, whatever. I just think, we've just got to be careful how we're packaging what we say, how we package what we put out into the world. Because again, we have to share our own stories, but we have to understand to try to keep our own biases in check. We have to understand that works for us, but it may not work for the person listening. Nancy Tanner is in the house. Good morning, dear. How are you? And Steph is coming to Elkhart. All right. I can't wait to see you. Mr. Gugahan is heading to church, so very glad that you were here, my friend. I hope you have a wonderful time and be safe. Jennifer Lucas said, 3 little marshmallows caused me devastating leg cramps. It seems impossible. It's just so mind-boggling to me that such a small amount of something like that could cause such, catastrophe. I don't know. It's so hard to, like, it's also like the idea that sometimes I'll see a picture of like 5 or 6 hamburger patties all greasy and covered with cheese, and I'm thinking, that's unhealthy. There's no way that could be healthy. Because again, that mental block is so deep. Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying, Evelyn. That they're not keto was directed at my kids. They are not keto. The Real Good Chickens is better product than. Oh yeah, 100%. And I love chicken nuggets. Like the Aldi ones, those are great. They taste fantastic, but they're so high in carbohydrates. Like, come on. And people are saying hello to more people. Yeah, I mean, they have the idea like moving alone is so stressful. The fact that he moved across country and he's upset about being up, that's like weighing, like doing these weigh-ins, even weekly, is like, it's only one data point. And we hang so much importance on that single data point. So hard to think about the fact that we put so much emphasis on that single data point. And I understand 100%, Jen. So she says, some of us have visited the 400-pound club and have done so much damage to our bodies that only get results from the extreme. Yeah, I understand. I'm trying to see. Stephanie or Evelyn is putting the address for Buffalo Wild Wings, Elkhart, 522 East Windsor Avenue, Indiana. There we go. There's my friend. Hello, Jaheel. How are you? Hello. So glad to see you, my friend. And another reason I wear this beard is so you can't see my my mask flat at the bottom. Do you guys see that crazy business on Fox News the other day? The dude wearing the mask, and people are like, it's a shadow. That was a mask. Creepy mask, too, by the way. Some weird stuff going on these days, my friends. Some weird stuff. Cindy says, carnivore bars are like keto bricks to me. Textures are gross to me. Brian didn't even like the carnivore bars. The carnivore bars were a lot. They were a big, like, that was an experience. And Sean says they were all low normal. Yeah, I would definitely have the see about what your doctor would say about still trying to get them up and see how that impacts you. Retired Rick Carnivore is here. Good morning, my friend. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Brian Dish says, QQQ, have you looked for picanha with the other name? What, like the sirloin cap? Yeah, I mean, everywhere I shop, they have sirloin steaks, and the only cap they have are like the ribeye caps or whatever that are like $20 a pound. Yeah, most of the places that I shop do not have any kind of sirloin cap or picanha. And I mean, like I said, I haven't gone to any butcher shops really because I know that they're going to be charging a major premium, and I'm not going to be able to afford to buy it even if they had it. So Angel says, I compare my labs to Dr. Barry's optimal ranges. Yeah. And Rick says, stress can do wild things to your body. Sean, my labs were terrible after my wife's death. as inevitably they would be. They're still returning to normal. My thyroid levels were off, but returned to normal too. When you go through that kind of loss, it's almost like your body just says, I'm done. Even if you power through and even if you make it through the other side, there's a portion of your body that just kind of lets go. You know, I mean, that's just kind of like you can come out of it, but like your body's like, you know what? This is a lot, and it just tanks. That's a kind of stress that I don't wish on anybody. I know for a lot of us, it's inevitable, unfortunately, but that's, you know. Let's see. Jaheel says, Dustin, I truly hope you've been behaving since we last spoke. This dude's writing me like it's Bridgerton. I know Evelyn hasn't, but that's okay because I support all women no matter what they do. I love you, Jaheel. You crack me up. Yeah, Karen says cortisol should be high in the AM and taper off during the day. Yeah. It's just a matter of like when you go and get your labs drawn, what time of day, if it was like in the afternoon, it was low, that's probably good and normal. And Risa says, hello all, better late than never. Well, I'm glad that you are here, my dear. Welcome. So glad to see you, Risa. And Angela's asking, what is the other name for Picard? It's like sirloin cap. Risa says ShopRite is selling porterhouse and T-bones for $8.99 a pound with the card. Got 3 for tomorrow. Oh yeah. Bow, bow. Thomas likes all steaks. It's true. Yeah, Jen says I'd like to have my RT3 and my active T3. I think like just going on your labs is like just like $35 or something. Isn't that right? And is that about what you paid, Sean? Steph loves her doctor, Dr. Tony Hampton. And Cindy says, you're a turd. Or what a turd you are, Dustin. Only because we were on a long road trip did we only see them once this trip. You know what? I can't help that you had other priorities, okay? Okay. But I'm glad you made it home safe, and I'm glad you had a good time, dear. Having some coffee with bacon grease, not bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's okay. Angela says, I only work 3 days this coming week. Maybe I can get some work done around the house for a change. Yeah. Steph says, now since doing this way of life, I burn with no feelings of the burn. In other words, no pain at all. Interesting. And then here again, Andy was here for a little while. Risa says, we like real good chicken around here. Sometimes I put them into the salad. I do not overcook them. If you overcook them, they get real dry. They dry out so fast. And Jeff says he won't reheat in plastic, but will store it. I mean, yeah. And Steph says, remember, even though I live in Indiana, I am on Central Time. Yeah. Andy says, I have 2 granddaughters now. I'll text you guys the good specifics after I get home. So happy everyone is healthy. 100%. I'm so excited. They're so cute. Our little one is getting a little twofer. It's like a little T for twofer. Oh, yeah. Sharon says, problem with delay in comments. I have added back a few seasonals and sauerkraut, so I know what works. Well, yeah, 100%. And Thomas says, okay, but it's so good burgers with, I mean, I understand that. It's just like whenever, like, it's just one of those things, like you look at that and we've been so conditioned that burger meat and cheese is so unhealthy. The grease is going to get you. It's going to clog your arteries. Oh. Clogging your arteries. There we go. Mr. Biscuits in the house. Mr. Biscuits. So very glad to see you, my friend. How are you? I hope you're doing well, my friend. Risa says ShopRite finally started selling it as colloides, coitus. And it's expensive. Contemplating buying one, but decided not at that. Yeah, that's the problem. It's like whenever something is really fine to be good, it's really expensive. Mr. Rick says, off to my friend's restaurant for breakfast. I am sure they miss me. Take care, all. Well, I'm glad we got a chance to get together and hang out. I'm glad you made it home safe. Enjoy your breakfast, and we'll see you soon, my friend. Mr. Biscuit says RT3 is good for identifying conversion issues of T4 and T3. And Sean says, I've been researching low cortisol. Dr. Berg has a video on it saying that low cortisol can cause extreme fatigue, which is what I'm fighting. He said that sleep apnea can be caused by low cortisol. That's very interesting. How do you up your cortisol? Jackie is here. Oh, I overslept. I'm here. How you doing, Dustin? What did I miss? Oh, 2 hours worth of stuff, you know. Just 2 hours worth of stuff. You have to go back and watch the replay. You have to watch the replay. Thomas says, if I die from eating greasy burgers with cheese, what a good way to... 100%. 100%. I love it. Oh, my goodness. We are caught up with the chat. Wouldn't Rick, Mr. Quack Quack himself, be so very proud that I finally got caught up with the chat? Can you believe it? I got caught up with the chat. Again, don't forget to go over and get yourself some keto chow, some salty. Try the new peach flavor. It's really good. It is not a limited edition flavor like I thought when I made my little video. It is a full-time, full-fledged, full-time member of the team now. So there's that. Jackie says, can't take me anywhere. I will watch the replay. You know what? Watch the rest of this, and then go back and watch the replay. Oh, my goodness. And Sean says, you can take supplements. Dr. Berg has some. Ancestral Supplements also has something to help with low cortisol. Yeah, I'm curious. I would ask Dr. Barry what he would recommend about low cortisol. Are you a member of the tribe? Are you a member of Dr. Barry's tribe, Sean? I'm just curious. Risa says, I ordered the peach salty and another bag of granny apple. Can't wait to get that peach. I love the prototype. Yeah, that stuff is really good. I still got a couple sticks. I need to make an order because Chandra's out of grapefruit. And I've got some grape left. I got to be very careful with my grape. Hopefully they bring it back before I run out. But you got that, and you've got the granny apples, which is really, really good. That's crazy. I wonder if that's something that Chandra's going through. I need to get her entire panel taken care of. But she's, yeah. Go if you're a member of Dr. Barry's tribe. Do you have access to his AI thing, asking Dr. Barry what he thinks, and go in that Dr. Barry AI and ask him what he thinks of low cortisol? I'd be curious to see what it says. You can message me later. Sean says, I'm a member of all the mighty networks. Whew, that's a lot. Sure is a lot. Oh, yeah. So, as we start to wind this down, I think one of the healthiest things that we can do as a community is to stay flexible enough to recognize that not everyone's path is going to look exactly like our own. And we have to look out for each other, right? We have to be there and support each other regardless, right? I mean, yeah, we can give each other little bits and pieces here and there. Because, I mean, everyone's going to be asking questions, and that's what we're here for, to run things by each other, right? But, you know, I mean, the goal isn't to create copies of ourselves, right? It's to help people move towards better health in ways that they actually sustain and build into their own lives. And that requires patience, compassion, curiosity, and a willingness to admit that there's still a lot we are all learning. Like the last 10 years, what I learned as keto isn't still true with keto. And there's a lot of things happening in the keto world. There's a lot of people out there who don't like keto because of the idea that people lean and they hang on too many keto products. But one thing I'm noticing is in the wild is there's less and less and less keto products in the grocery stores. Are there a lot of keto breads and tortillas? Absolutely. Why? Well, because a lot of people are going to hang on those things and utilize those as a crutch, not understanding fully that those are causing some of the issues even still. But I still think that there's a certain percentage of people who are going to use those, find some success, and then find a way to get away from those, right? There's so much to learn. So much to learn. Even like the definition of moderate protein has shifted from when I first started to now. In the beginning, it was moderate protein was be very careful not to overdo your protein because it'll kick you out of ketosis and you'll start gluconeogenesis and you'll make all the sugar from. No, we've come to learn that, again, gluconeogenesis for the most part is not consumption driven, it's demand driven. Now, can there be some of the protein powders and protein shakes with these highly processed proteins that hit our body and go straight to our bloodstream? 100%. But honestly, I think that's, onto this idea, like we never stop learning is why this movement continues to grow. Not because people are looking for perfection, because they're looking for hope. I needed hope. I was so lost that finding this community is huge to me. Even I had been keto for a long time, really, before finding this group, before finding this community. And I'm so glad that I was able to, because I was going down a wrong path. Who knows where I would be right now. We're looking for hope. We're looking for people who are willing to be honest about the struggle, honest about the process, honest about the fact that the real change usually comes through consistency and experimentation and not through rigid ideology. So again, I want to say thank you for sharing your coffee with this morning. If you're going to watch the Indy 500, enjoy race day. I am going to hunker down and not go anywhere because I can't. Even living about kind of as far as I am from the track, it's still kind of a dangerous proposition to get out and try to go somewhere today. And let's keep building something meaningful together, okay? I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Really, really, really true. Kathy B here, just got here, and we're about ready to close up shop for the day. Good morning. I have Coco Loco Keto Chow in my cup now. Woo! I love it. And Dan is here. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Dustin. Driving to family's house for the blessed rainy Sunday. It's rainy here, too. Or at least it's supposed to. And Jackie says, I just asked Grok, and the answer is interesting. How does cortisol go too low, and what to do to increase it? Interesting. I don't play around with Grok too much, but I've got ChatGPT, I've got Gemini, I've got a couple of the other ones too, but I can't think about them. Sean says, bye, everybody. Have a good morning. I ate part of a keto brick at a grad party yesterday. Everything they served was fully carb loaded. Yeah. And Dan is here. He says, hey, everybody. Yeah, I saw the protein Doritos. There's protein Pop-Tarts. There's all kinds of this crazy stuff out here now, But anyway, thank you all so much. Oh, Kathy says, been here all morning. Well, welcome anyway. I hope you enjoyed everything. I truly appreciate all you guys very, very much. I love each and every one of you. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy Memorial Day tomorrow. The pool is open. It's too cold to use it, but enjoy it if you can. And with that, here come these credits. I love you, and we'll see you on Tuesday, everybody. If not tomorrow, if you're coming to the Elkhart BW3 meetup with me, Evelyn, Carl, Amy, Steph, and Chris and Miriam, and I think Smoothie is coming out. We'll see who all else is coming. We're going to have a great time. Until then, I love your faces, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Yeah.